So what do we stay for? See the rain fall.
How's everyone been doing? The whole point of the reason why I turned on my Instagram live now is because I wanted to kind of I guess just show you guys I guess how I go through my creative process, how I kind of start videos or how I make them and stuff. So maybe it will be a good, I guess, insight on how I make stuff. I'll show you something very interesting. So this is just like a normal clip that John, everyone knows who John is. Say hi, John. Shot for me. I think it was in New York, right? Anyone that sees this is just a person walking, I guess, freely, like really not thinking much of it. And this is what I mean. If you decide to see it differently, if you decide to look at it in a whole new perspective, which means just, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to, you think out of bounds. Like, you want to think differently. And ladies and gentlemen, the only way you're going to get better at thinking differently and seeing things differently, do what you want. Just kind of... So anyway, given that idea, working around that, it's just a normal scene of me walking along the side. You can choose to do whatever you want with this. It's a really basic clip, right? It's like, there's really not much to it. All right, so a little bit of grading. Easy, you know, just, you want to grade, you could grade. So that makes it very interesting. First up, color is everything, right? Just, again, the more you practice what kind of tones, what kind of colors you like, easy. 색깔, if you want to add a little bit of VFX, whatever, add a little bit of VFX. And I know I'm skipping levels here, but here's the thing. I started somewhere. I started like very, what do you call it? Like, I started shooting my phone and I just kind of started making videos off of my phone, right? Not because I thought, oh my god, like I want to become something, like I gotta beat all these like directors, you know, like if I started thinking too ahead of myself, you're just not gonna start, because your head just starts getting so filled with so much worry, so much doubt, that you just don't even pick up the pen, right? You don't really have the confidence to start. So what's the best thing is just do it. Back to this. So what I did here was ordinary scene, whatever. Graded it. Added 3D motion graphics. This part I'll explain like a bit differently. It's like 이거는 조금 다르게. I have to get into details of this, right? But anyway, this is a 3D motion, 3D. You need a really super computer to do that. But anyway, all it took was 2 steps to change a scene such as that into already like a scene that seems quite interesting, right? Right? It's just that's all it takes. And then you need the magic, right? And I always think the magic comes from the song, right? Like, honestly, because the song is what makes people feel things, right? And you want to, the most important thing, well, I think personally, my motto, or how I kind of go about my visuals or anything I do related to art, is I need I need to feel something when I watch my own piece. So then if I show it to somebody else, I mean, if it doesn't translate 100% to what I was going for, even if they feel at least 70% or 50% of what I was feeling when I watched it, I think it really hits home, right? Like, the whole purpose of creating art and everything is to express yourself. But not only is it to express yourself, but it's to get people to understand what you're trying to express, right? Otherwise your whole purpose in making music, art, videos, everything would just be for yourself, right? What's the difference then? Why do you need a audience if you're going to do it for yourself, right? So I believe it is you do it for people, but you do it in a sense where you're trying to get them to understand how you're feeling when you're watching the video, right? You get it? Okay, so what does, like, well, I think one of the biggest factors is music. Music is a universal language. It's just, you just need it, right? When people hear music, things change. People listen to music in clubs, they dance. Have you ever imagined walking into a club and there's just no music and and then you have this weird society where everyone's just like this without any music. You have 500 people inside a small venue and everyone's just doing this with no music. It doesn't make sense, right? So music is everything. It moves people, it makes people cry, it makes people laugh, it makes people do crazy. I mean, it's a universal language, right? And that's what's going to be, for me anyway, your deliverance. The icing on the cake. So anyway. So, and then given that, with a few adjustings, and yeah, that's what you get, ladies and gentlemen. It's very weird. I know. Hold on. 잠깐만요. So, let me just kind of like go into a different field now. Let's just go. I am talking about videos. Okay, here we go. So one of the programs that I really like to use is Final Cut. And I also use Motion, right? I know a lot of people use Adobe Premiere, After Effects, etc., right? And it's really personal preference, right? Just how much you can juice out of these programs, right? Yeah. It's really up to you. And how much you go, looking on YouTube to find tutorials, right? But that's how willing you have to be. If you don't know something, go looking for it. Like, I'm sure it's everywhere, right? That's like the whole point. Okay, so let's open up a new project. I'm gonna make it 180p. Boom. So I'll show you something very interesting. So this is what I like to personally use, Final Cut, right? I have this very nice clip. 뭐야? 어디 갔어? I drag it in. And I think John shot this, right? Like, he was just getting B-roll footages for whatever it was. It's a guy shoveling. Yeah, it's pretty much a sign of a guy that's shoveling. And just a random dude walks past, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It's very it's nothing if you think about it, right? It really is nothing. But it could be almost everything if you kind of think about it, right? So anyway, so one of the plugins that I really like using is something called MO2, right? And honestly, I have to open up Motion to show you guys this, but I can't be. But I think that's just for another day. That's too much work right now. So let's just jump into Motion. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Aha! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce to you something called 3D modeling, 3D rendering. Yeah. And I like to have a lot of fun. 요즘은 I like to have a lot of fun with 3D rendering and 3D modeling and motion and graphics, right? It's not as hard as you think, right? Trust me, there are tutorials where it takes you step by step. And after that, once you get the basics of it, you just go around fiddling with it. Hopefully you don't destroy your computer. So, actually that's a good idea. Let me just turn on some music. Okay. Okay, so anyway, here I have my MO2 plugin, right? Full screen this for a second. And here on the side, let's just make this a little bit bigger. You have a lot of different settings which can really confuse you, but hey, it's not as confusing as things. Environment, background, and render settings. Okay, so this is my little thing. Okay. I've changed my environment. Obviously, with the environments, with the background, I always go with the drop zone. Technically, because I don't. Because with the drop zone, you can apply your own clips. Therefore, you don't have to design. I'm not very good at making a background. Do you see my point? Okay. Anyway. Okay, so let's see what can we make from this. All right. So this is my drop zone. So immediately I like to touch around with the. I have a lot of models, and model meaning different types of textiles, different types of things that you could possibly add in 3D rendering, right? You can change the background, the textiles, the again, it's all about Okay, I've never seen. Okay, I'm gonna add something called. Immediately, I have a I've never seen it. Okay, I'm gonna scale this down a little bit just to see what it is. Okay, and so with this, you can change the motion, the movement, and etc. According to this. And obviously, you would have to do mapping, you would have to do tracking, and all sorts of things. But let's go over this. Now, on this, a good thing about 3D motion graphics is the idea that you can apply different types of materials, right? You can make it into different types of, I guess, textures. If I go with flesh, we have a very we have a fleshy background, right? Okay, you see that, okay? Don't know what I'll be doing with this, but hold on. I'm just gonna see what it does. So with this button, I'm just looking at the 3D model of this. Since my video isn't going in depth, we have no dynamics. This video is pretty much a still. It's almost fixed, if I was to say. There's no pan in, there's no pan out. We can all do that digitally. We could all do that later on in post. But for now, we're working with a almost fixed footage, right? And usually fixed footage is a lot more easy to work with because you don't have to go in 3D motion tracking and etc. etc. Okay, let me just get this back to place. Okay. Okay. Alright, so let's work with this. Alright? I think that's me. Sorry, I just found out that was me. Phew. I had no idea that was me. Okay. Okay, possibility scale it down. I'm just gonna scale it down a little bit. Okay, so let's just leave that on the side. And sometimes what I do is I leave it there and I examine what possibly it could do, you know, like the functions. Because again, with this, again, you could choose the animations, the behavior that this object could potentially do. And again, these are all plugins. You would have to pay for more. If you pay for more different plugins, you can get more actions, more things. You could design it yourself. Technically, I don't know what. Okay, let's go with a. Hold on. I think there's like a levitation thing, right? Okay, it's perfect. Okay, we'll just apply this. Okay, mind you, the rendering. Should I render these? Okay, so it will automatically. Okay, hold on. Okay, interesting. Okay, so that's the motion that it falls into place. Okay, now since the camera is moving and everything, you would have to track it according to the movement of the camera. Otherwise, it's just gonna look like a banana in a strawberry field, right? You could see it immediately that it doesn't belong there, right? Oh god, this is getting too deep. Tracking, I think I should just leave for another day. But for now, I'll just... Even 3D modeling, let's just leave that for another day. It's gonna get too deep. And I forget it's 4 a.m. in the morning. But anyway, again, let's just go back with the 2 steps that I was talking about. Vision and grading and music, that's what you need. Start from there. Let's like start from there, right? If I get into too much details, I won't be able to speak and I'll just be doing this. But that is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Who knows, anyway. Okay, and this is what I mean, alright? Okay, I'll show you a very, like a perfect example, okay? 2 things, a good grade and a good song, and already it feels like it's something. For all you people that are trying to start video out there, this is how you start. That's the 2 major factors. And vision, that's all you need. And confidence, just... Okay, we have a scene here. Not much. Alright. I'm gonna apply it a LUT that I have I like to create my LUTs. I usually... Yeah, I go custom. I create my own. Okay, let's just apply something. Let's just apply like a LUT that I think might... Okay, so from this I'm gonna customize the color and the balance of a lot of these things. Jesus. Okay, so too much highlight. Oh god, I wish I had like someone filming this for me. It's just tremendously hard doing it with one hand. Just going for a preferred color. It's a bit too dark. Highlights her out again. Okay. Let's go to the color wheel. Usually I'll do this in DaVinci, but hey, I'm just showing you guys for a specific purpose. Okay. Let's up. Okay, let's just change the hue a bit. Okay, that's good. Okay, and say... Okay, sorry, I don't like the I just don't like the orange color here. I'm just gonna get rid of that really quick. Okay, it does affect that. Okay, just get rid of that. Let's bring back the image saturation. Let's change this baby around. Okay, actually this is something. Let's just bring up the tolerance a little bit. Okay, make sure it doesn't affect anywhere else. Okay, I'm just showing this for the purpose of this video. Like, I'm not gonna tell you about details and everything. I'll do that obviously later. But hey, okay. For now, I'm just showing a prime example of what I mean by if you only have these two important things, depending on what you decide to do, how you decide to show this, it doesn't have to, again, it doesn't have to be good in anyone else's eyes. It just has to be, I guess to you, it just has to be, as long as you like it, right? And trust me, the more you like it, the more you try to do better, because then you will have this, because then it becomes your drive. You can't get driven by people saying, oh, you can't do it, you can't. I mean, you can, but it can only go so much until you just kind of get defeated, right? Like Dre knows, right? Like for me, I guess everyone's seen Dre's video, right? JRE. For me, like, I feel like he's getting so much better at making, not just content, but just the editing, and I guess that in itself. And you can see such progress, even with people like that, you know what I mean? Like, even with Dre, like, when I see his old stuff, and when I see him now, it's just the tremendous growth, because I know he's sticking to that mentality, right? And so should you guys be. You know, it's like, sure. Excellent. Okay, great. Now, added movement. Post zoom. And honestly, if you want, you can animate him. You just you can go into masking and mask this, change the person figure, and you can start making him dance. Who knows? Maybe I'll do that. Right? Start a little bit more closer. Yeah. At that range, okay. Great. Now what song do we have? Okay, that's not a song. Oops. Okay. So, hold on. Again, it really does come to the fundamental. It could be a basic scene, but sticking to the idea of just two simple ideas. Let's just start with that. Tone and musicality. That's all you need. See, again, this is a regular scene, but it's really up to you. It's really up to you and how you want to do things with it. So again, how long did that take? Well, like 5-10 minutes. 10 minutes tops, I think. You can with everything, it just see. It's just again. And then you have your original clip. Sorry, not your original clip. This is your original clip. Easy. Just two things. Like that's, for beginners, I say start there, right? Beginners start at that point, right? It's so easy. Like, because I get a lot of people that are wanting to start wanting to start videography and stuff, but they don't know where to start and they don't know how to. They don't know what to do. And honestly, it just comes down to those two fundamental points first. I suggest you start matching music with a lot of the things that you do and colors, right? And again, it has to be because you like it. It can't be for somebody. You don't want to. It's not to impress somebody, right? It's to impress yourself, right? That's how you start. And just do those two fundamentals. Later on, you can again start fiddling around more with it. The more comfortable you get, and you just start searching. But you got to start somewhere, right? And eventually, you go into things like 3D motion graphics, rendering. I know that's like a totally different field, and some people that would want to do it, if you have enough time, you can do it. If you don't, you could just, yeah. So I don't know. With this one, I'm not sure if I still have the prototype. It does not look like it. No, looks like I made it into something. So very easy steps. Basic, just a grade, rendering 3D motions, and then for the final thing, you could just yes. I hope that helped. I mean, I know it didn't really help, but I hope in some ways, for people that are wanting to start anywhere and hasn't started, this information is just pretty much to people that are wanting to start but haven't, I guess, started anything yet and they don't know where to start. I'm just giving you an advice because this is how I started. And it's really the mentality, I guess. It's really when you do these kind of things, it's really about how you think when you do these kind of things. It's how you it's enjoying the whole process of it. If you don't enjoy making videos, if you don't enjoy exploring, and if that enjoyment, if the whole motive behind why you do these things, I know everyone starts it because they want to do it, but then again, there's always two wolves inside every person. And what I mean by that is there's one wolf that's like, I want to do it. I can see myself being really good at this, right? I think I want to do it because I love it. I have passion for it. And then there's another wolf inside you that feeds into the whole idea where it's like, oh, but there are so many people that are better than me. You know, there's so many people that are already out there doing this. So many things can go wrong. I don't know where to start. Maybe it's risky. And you always have these two sides that are constantly battling inside you, right? But then you gotta ask yourself, right? You only live once. You know, if you're gonna feed into this side where it's almost, in a way, kills your confidence, kills your dreams, you know, just kind of kills the part of what you dream of being and what you want, then wouldn't it? And you have the power to give power to any of these wolves. You can make this one starve, and you can make this one grow. And the crazy part is, no one's stopping you except for yourself, right? So give power to the side that matters, right? And that's you. You matter the most. Like, honestly, it's like yourself. Yourself. You matter the most in this whole wide world. Everyone has a unique taste, right? Like, everyone has personal things that they like and personal things that they don't like. But most of the times, people get shut down because I guess sometimes what they like might be a bit weird and might be a bit too different, or might be difficult for people to accept, right? So that's why a lot of the times you grow up, when you're a kid, everyone does it because no one cares. You know, you're a kid, you do what you want. That's why they say, you know, when you're a kid, you're just so creative, you're just so confident. That's why as a kid you pick up things faster. You know what I mean? You learn things faster because the whole purpose of it is because you're so interested in it, right? You have to be the whole center. What you want, you know, like what you want to do should be everything, you know. The minute you start thinking about, oh, you know, when am I gonna get to that person's level? What is this people like? Are people gonna like this? You know, it's okay to worry, but don't give power to that. You know, don't give that so much power that almost like takes over everything. And then once you start getting that into your head, you just can't do anything. You just can't really pick up anything. So the more you keep practicing what you want, the more you'll get better at it. You know what I mean? Like, how can you not get better at something if you keep practicing it? But occasionally there are those people in your life and in everyone's life or anywhere you go that will tell you, oh no, you need a backup plan. This is not safe. This is, you know, it's a big risk. Why put yourself there? Or you can't do it. Come on, they're not. You're the main character of your story, right? Like you're the main character of your story. You have the power to do anything with what you want to do, right? No one else matters except for yourself. It's a difference between, again, like you love your parents, right? You do it for them. But at the end of the day, you're the most important person to yourself. Therefore, how you feel, what you want, you know, who you want to become, your vision should be priority, not somebody else's. Someone else's judgment, someone else's, and again, that shouldn't gnaw into you. And I know as human beings, it's very hard. And again, everyone's in a different environment, you know what I mean? And I know it's so hard to think like this, right? I know it's so hard to think like this, but I'm telling you, there's only one way to become what you really want to become, and it's the way I'm telling you. It's just really kind of feeding into the side of that part of you where you do it. Like, you know how to do it. You know what it is. But I know there are things that you start thinking, the reality of things and this and that, it's just not going to work. And that's why so many people give up. But again, that's how I started. That's how I got to this point, right? That's how DPR became, that's how DPR came about, right? For me, I started videography about 3 years ago, right? Professionally, 2 years ago. And if someone told me 4 years ago, when I was an idol, if someone told me back then, hey, like, you're gonna be shooting, like 4 years ago to me, someone was like, you're gonna be shooting, like one of the biggest, I guess, K-pop stars. You're gonna be shooting their music videos. I would just, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have, like, it wouldn't have really hit me, because it just didn't make sense at the time. But hey, it's crazy. It's crazy. That's how life works. We just gotta enjoy it. Anyway, that's it for today. But thank you guys so much. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Good night.